we are in the segment for boiling. Boiling is a moist heat cooking method. Anytime we're dealing with moist heat cooking, it involves water, H2O. There must be some element of water. When there's no water, there's no moist heat cooking, okay? So what are we boiling today? We are going to boil some potato. This will be the same potato that you would boil, like how we have applied to our frittata. We had used boiled sweet potato. Here I'm just using our regular English potato, but the technique is the same. All tubers are boiled using the same technique. Mise en place. We have our potato that's already in its water. Remember, it has to be in water to stop oxidization, to maintain the true color and nature of the potato. We have to have a colander. We're going to use the colander to drain our potato so that then we can put it on to boil. We need a saucepan. The size saucepan depends on the amount of potato you're boiling, and you must have water. This water is regular tap water. It is not pre-boiled water. Starches are always boiled in tap water. Not cold water out the fridge either. Tap water, because you're dealing with a starch. For that starch to cook evenly, it will start to raise the temperature and start to cook from the cold water, versus if you were to place hot water and then put the starch in, it will start to cook from the outside into the inside. So we will end up with it starting to melt away from the outside before we can get to the inside. So always saucepan, water from the tap, and our water is seasoned with salt. How much salt? You would taste your water. Your water should taste slightly salty. If your water doesn't taste good, your potato is not going to taste good, all right? So season it well. So you put in your water, you would stir it and taste it. So let's drain our potatoes. Safety always, students. You will see I kept my bowl because water is going to still be dripping from the colander. We cannot have this water dripping on our walking area. Although we have on PPEs, shoes that are slip resistant, nothing is 100%. So you still want to avoid any slippages by not allowing any spills on the floor, water included. So you place your colander on top of your bowl, you come back to your station. I am only doing it here by the range because I'm here, but you would do it by your workstation. In goes your potatoes. Do not splash the potatoes, put them in. Colander. And now you turn on the heat. And that's it. So, how do we get to the boiling point? The boiling point will come, which we will show you when we start to get rapid bubbles on our surface. And that's boiling. 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level. So student safety applies in every aspect of what we do, including boiling, especially the boiling of starchy vegetables. You can see that I have a saucepan cover here. However, it is encouraged that you do not put the cover onto your potatoes at this stage or at any time really, because it allows you, the student, to have more control in seeing when your water is coming to boiling point. Also, you rather not put on your cover, because when I apply the cover, I am going to intensify the heat much more quickly. The starches will start to rise and everything would overflow, and because you can't see through this cover. So for safety, when it comes to boiling your starch vegetables, keep your cover off so that you can visualize when the water is boiling. You can see when the starch levels probably start to rise, and if it's starting to rise just to the peak, lower your temperature. And when you lower your temperature, you will see the starches start to subside, and you are much more safe in regard to boiling your potatoes. Another tip when it comes to cooking or boiling your vegetables, whether starch vegetables or water-based vegetables, is how do we check the doneness of our vegetables? So let's talk about our potatoes. We want all of our starches to be cooked, what we call fork tender. Fork tender means just that. You can use a fork, and when you pierce your vegetable, it should go through with ease and without resistance. That suggests that your potato is cooked. If you don't have a fork available, what you do not do is use your good knife, your chef knife. These are expensive equipment, and these are our best friends, right? You wouldn't take your best friend finger and stick it in the water to check to see if the water boiling, would you? So don't do that to your best friend either. What happens is the heat dulls your knife. What you use is your fork, or what I always have available is a skewer. And you can't go wrong with a skewer. And with a skewer, whether that item is thick or thin like this, because sometimes your fork can only go so far and you want to test the middle of whatever you are cooking. So with a skewer, with a pointed edge, is the best instrument for testing the doneness of your vegetables. And you take it, insert, and if there's resistance and it's not going through, it's not cooked. But if it goes straight through, your potatoes or your vegetables are finished cooked.